Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I have two inks for you from the same place, another twofer, and these are them. These are from the Pushpull store up in Ballard, Washington. These are inks that are made in-house, and you can buy them at other stores and that sort of thing. I got them from my local stationery joint, Crazy Allen's Emporium, and I was pretty excited to try these because I always like to support a new company or a small business and that sort of thing, and these inks looked really interesting. Fern has this sword with this is a very good illustration. I like that there's a color on there. And then Wet Branch, both of these are very solidly up my alley. This is a brown, which is just sort of like a, I don't know, it's kind of this off brown, like a taupe, but with shimmer in it as well. I'm like, yes, good. And that almost looks like brown shimmer. It's super cool. These were $6 a piece. Was the other one $6? Yeah, $6 a piece. And I gotta tell you, these were not ready for prime time. I don't think I'm gonna buy any more Pushpull for a while, and we're about to see why. I can't recommend these at all. Unfortunately, the price is great, but oh boy. All right, so here they are, my usual Nebula note paper. I love this paper for fountain pens. It is very good, and oh man, these aren't great. So I have here Pushpull's Sword Fern, which I think is the worst offender. It is just not good. In fact, I was excited about these, and I put them in the same pen with almost the same nib. One of them is a medium, and the other one's a medium stub. So very, very similar nibs. These are Franklin-Christoph Model 66s, which I was psyched to put them in, and man, I can't wait to get them out of there. Here's how it looks on this paper. This paper is extremely good with fountain pens, I will have you know. But man, whew, the color is cool. The performance is absolutely just garbage. Bleeding on pretty much every paper. Definitely a lot of spread on every paper and feathers and stuff. Although oddly, it didn't really bleed that much on this one except for the swatch. You can see maybe a few spots here and there, but it's not too bad actually. This paper held up well. It just feathered like it was his job. Spread everywhere, feather all the time. But the other thing about this is it smells really odd. It smells like there's, I don't know, essential oils or something. And that might explain this terrible performance. I don't know what's going on there. It smells extremely herbal. If you don't like really strong herbal scents, boy, are you not going to like this. And it's really unpleasant to write with. So I don't know what happened there. The chromatography is interesting. Let's see how it does with water, but I don't know. On the other side, we have Pushpull's Wet Branch, and this one is better. Better than the other one, but it's still able to spread and feather like mad. In fact, you can see some feathering on here. And this might be the first time I've seen feathering and spreading on this paper. It just doesn't really happen. It's really odd. I do like the color here a lot, but also this is supposed to be a shimmering ink, and I don't know if, let's see if I can bring out any shimmer here at all. Just a skosh there, and that's just a little bit in the writing, perhaps. The shimmer, or the swatch there, a couple sparkles. The shimmer doesn't really seem to be shimmering. The ink seems to be spreading and all that sort of thing. It doesn't clog, which is cool, I guess. And then somebody told me there might be clove oil in here, which absolutely makes sense, and maybe that's to be like a biocide or something. It does smell kind of like that, but man, it's not good. So let's go ahead and do a little water drop test here. We'll look at it on some other papers and next to a couple of other inks that you might want to grab instead. If you have a Pushpull ink that you really like and you think went well, do let me know, because I would like to think that I got the two bad ones that are out there, but I don't know. 100% of the ones I bought have not been great. The chromatography is really cool, though. I'll say that for sure. Look at all the interesting colors that are going on in this thing. I think there's a little bit of red there that doesn't belong, but look at the interesting colors there. That's cool all by itself. It's got a little bit of water resistance, not much, but a little bit. Let's go ahead and use the other side here. Yeah, all right. So this has definitely got some water resistance. I'm seeing a little bit of a green tint on my paper towel, but otherwise very strong. So that's good. This is pretty water resistant. This is like the dots stuck around. The lines are not great, but that's interesting. You can see on the back here that, wow, the water really pushed the ink through the paper. That's very strange. That just doesn't, I mean, that doesn't happen the rest of the time. These have all had water on them. This a little bit there maybe, but I mean, yeah, whoa, that's interesting. Kind of weird. All right, let's look at it on some other papers. So here it is on my Staples 20 pound, 30% recycled copy paper. This is that bad paper from your office copier that is not really meant for liquid ink, and most things will bleed or feather or spread on it if they're gonna. And you can definitely see some spread on this one. It's, I mean, it really could be worse now that I'm looking at it again, but it's not great. On the back, only moderate bleeding, which is odd. This did bleed through most papers. In fact, you're going to see it bled through a coloring card, Colodex card, which is impressive stuff. But yeah, it's not great, but it could be worse, I guess. I don't know. My letters do blend together there pretty heavily, which is interesting. This is probably where it was absolutely the worst, and this is on some Aerofil paper, which is a really nice paper. It's 75 GSM. It's great for fountain pens. It feels and acts a little bit like Cosmo Airlight, if you're familiar with that at all. But man, this is hard to read, and this one I didn't write very much because I did not want anything. I didn't want to do anymore. I was just done. The smell is very strong from the clove oil or whatever kind of oil is in this thing. And I mean, some of these you can't even read. And this is a medium nib, y'all. Medium. So, woof. Over here, slightly better, but still bad. I mean, look at this. Like, that's the word passage, I promise, and legislation, and a few others. When I wrote the citation, I wanted that to be legible, so I wrote it with a different ink. But it's not great. If you want to go ahead and take your still for this 99% invisible city transcription, good luck. You can probably read most of it, some of it maybe not. This one, Le Ciudad, no idea what that says. It's too mangled. So yeah, not great. Lastly, for papers, this is my Galen Leather Co. everyday book. This is Tomoe River paper. And on here, it actually looks kind of okay. The brown actually works really well on here. I think that looks really nice. Of course, no shimmer really coming through. The green it's interesting. It's got sort of a faded look to it, which is kind of neat. Let's see, did it bleed through this? Yeah, but it bled through Tomoe River. That's weird, y'all. That happens once in a blue moon. I don't know. Let's see if there are any others here that bled through Tomoe River. I mean, you can usually just swatch heavily on this and not really get any bleed through. Did this big swatch have any bleed through? A little bit, but that's a ton of ink we put on there. So yeah, like bleed through on this stuff is incredibly rare. I mean, that's one of the things people love about Tomoe River. So yeah, it bled through Tomoe River, which is not great. The color is interesting though, so that's good. All right, let's look at it on some of these. These are Colodex cards, and as I said, it did bleed through a Colodex card. They're for ink swatching, and they are very good and very resistant to most inks. But this one, yeah, managed to bleed through. It bled through not just here where I swatched it, and here not even that much where I swatched it, but also it bled through where I was writing with it. That's not great. You don't want that. There's less ink there than there is here. I don't know what it's doing. It's doing a weird thing for sure. And it doesn't look great from that medium Yovo nib. Unfortunately, the swatch looks kind of cool, but I don't even know if I would recommend this for watercolor. So I don't know what this would do on watercolor paper. Maybe you've used that for that and it's worked out well. I don't know. Let me know if you've used this and if it was like this for you. Here is Kitty Inkpot's Candle Flame in the Forest, which is a bit darker, I think, than Sword Fern, but it's definitely in the same realm, and I think is going to behave better. Kobe number 75 is from Kobe Nagasawa. This is Higashi Kawasaki Harbor Mint, which is definitely mintier for sure, but kind of in the same realm. And then Atlantis Seaweed from Dominant Industry, which I think is pretty close if you just darkened up Sword Fern a bit and made it not bleed through everything. And then I also pulled Sailor and Tintirius's Cilantro, which you can, I think, grab right now from Amarillo Ink out in Chicago. Find them online. But I got these samples from my friend Beth and from my friend Ruth. So thanks very much for those samples, y'all. And I don't know, this is probably the closest one, I would guess. But yeah, it's an interesting color, at least. Wet Branch here has this sort of very nice taupey color to it. I think it's kind of close to this Andurilium Tolip Tully Warm? That's an interesting name for sure. This is definitely warmer and darker than Wet Branch. Then we have Troublemaker's Rodeo here, which I think is interesting. It's definitely darker and more, it's like got more of a reddish cast. I got this from my friends Beth and Dustin there. And then this one I think is the closest. This is Tono and Limb's Gemini's Duality, which I've been using actually quite a lot right now in this very good pen from Zodiac Pens. And this has been rocking. I really like that. I would say grab that one. I got mine from Psycho Stationery. Seiko? I'm going to go Psycho on there. Psycho Stationery out in California, who you should definitely check out. This is a better ink than Wet Branch. Get that one instead. It's much more fun. All right, so that's Wet Branch and Sword Fern. These are inks that I cannot recommend that you buy, unfortunately. I wish I could. I hate making reviews that are negative, but I'm forcing myself to so that I can get these out of my pens because I don't want them in there anymore. All right, find these if you're interested in them, but get some of those other ones that I showed you instead because those are just more fun and better, and I think you should go for it. I do have hope for Pushpull in the future. I'm sure that they're just starting out making inks, but these aren't ready for prime time quite yet. Let me know if you have a favorite push-pull ink that actually works very well down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to get a hold of some good ones. But I'll see you in another video soon. Until then, think about what you put out in the world and make it a better place. Peace out, y'all.